Hey guys, it's Alicia. So today I'm here to do a video that is kind of inspired by a lot of the black or dark skin or black YouTubers that I have been watching recently. So yeah. So this video is going to be on sort of kind of like the angry black woman stereotype. Okay, so let me tell y'all a little bit about myself. So, my family is from down south. I mean, like, a lot of people from the north in my area's family is from the south. Yeah. So, there are a lot of people up here are from the south. Their families originated from down there. So, yeah. So I don't have proper talking yet. I do not talk like this all the time, and I do not even talk like this in my videos at all. I don't talk like this on a normal basis because I feel like I do not need to talk like this to get my points across to anybody. Like, nobody is going to not understand what I'm saying if I'm talking like this. Like, they're not gonna not understand what I'm saying if I'm talking like this, like normally. I do not need to talk in a proper tone and hold the respect and all that other crap that people say that I should, because if I talk improper, then I will not get a job and I will not know what to do when I grow up, and nobody is going to want to listen to me because I do not know how to talk properly. That was very hard for me to do because that is not how I normally talk. I can talk properly, unforcefully at times, but a lot of the times when I'm talking, I can talk normally like this. I could talk loudly like this. Like, I could go 25 more octaves or whatever higher. So, people think that when you have when you say stuff with a certain tone, you're angry. And that's the same thing with Hispanic women as well. And this is all from me personally seeing what I see. This is not like I know everything. So, of course, everything that I see and I know of doesn't happen in front of you. Like, everything that happens in front of me does not happen in front of you. So, I'm just let y'all keep that in mind. So, when you talk passionately, and we have a lot of passion in your voice, like when I talk about stuff that has to do with the black community, the people at my school, like, one day we was at a stand meeting, and I went to a stand meeting for once. Like, that was the first and only meeting that I went to, which I'll go to more this year. But anyway, so we was talking about like what we should do for the Martin Luther King thing that they hold on the day that we're off of school. So we were trying to have topics, and then in the midst of that we were discussing like the Ferguson stuff and whatever. And basically my whole thing was, when we was talking about it, I was like, okay, well, if the teacher lady over there's son, that happens to them, then how do you think that they will feel about this? And how do you think that this will happen? And then that makes people, what if it happened to my nephew? Because my nephew is finna be 16. Yeah, he finna be 16 this month. So what if that happened to my nephew? What if he got caught up in the wrong situation at the wrong time, and then something happened to him? Then I would have to be the one out there doing all of that stuff because of the fact that somebody wanted to go out there and act stupid and do something harming to my nephew. Like, they don't realize that this stuff can resonate with people within the community that it's happening inside of, and people don't think about what people in the community can look at it as. They don't think about what the little kids in the community can see. They don't think about what the teenagers that are almost out of high school can see. They don't think about that. Like, they don't think about what they can see, right? Because when somebody sees somebody getting shot down, and they was almost done with high school and all sort of crap, then they're gonna be like, well, what's the point of me trying to finish high school? What's the point of me trying to do this if somebody isn't gonna sit here, if somebody's just gonna sit here and try and kill me, if somebody's gonna sit here and hate me because of my existence, because I exist in this country, which I was not originally supposed to be in. Like, so that was my whole thing. And then after that, when it was all over, this dude told me, oh, you're very passionate about what you say. And I'm like, yeah, like, and people think that when you're passionate about what you say, no matter if it's the smallest thing ever, whether it's not even a political issue or anything like that, they think that you're angry. Like, when I say stuff sometimes I may come off as angry when I'm really not. Like, I'm just trying to get my facts out, and I may say it in an aggressive tone, but it's not really how I'm saying it, because if you know that the situation isn't that serious, then you should know that I'm not even sitting here trying to say it in a rude way. Like, if I'm trying to sit here and say, I don't like Oreos because Oreos are booty, I like Oreos, but I'm just saying, I'm just using that as an example. I don't like Oreos because Oreos give you so many carbs, so many fat, and da-da-da-da-da. And then they're gonna be like, okay, calm down. Like, it's just Oreos. I wasn't trying to say it in like a out there tone. I was trying to just say it. Like, I was literally just making a statement. Like, the way that I say stuff, it could come across as very, very, I don't know the word, but it could come across as like very hostile. And a lot of Black people have that type of tone. Like, they could come off as hostile, but they're not really trying to be it. Like, they can say stuff in a way that some people may think that is rude, but they just saying it. Like, they really are just talking. I think that's just the way that we are. I think that we just say stuff with very aggressiveness in our tone. Not all of us, of course, because there's a lot of Black people. I mean, not statistically, there's not, but there's like a lot of Black people that don't speak like, oh yeah, like, hey girl, like, what's up, girl? Oh my good, oh my good. Like, no, like, we do not sit here and talk like that all day. We can switch it up. We can switch from ghetto to proper. It's not like we only have one tone of voice, like, and you can't put a whole group of people into that one tone, like. And it's not only the non-Black minorities and the non-people of color. People within the community think that if you speak properly, if you speak and hold yourself up with all of this, whatever, then you're good. Like, you're gonna make it. Like, that's not the case, sir. That's not the case, sis. A lot of the Black famous people that are shown in media, that the media that I see, are basketball players, football players, whatever type of players, freaking singers, rappers, artists of all kind, producers, people like the people on Love and Hip Hop, who are the producers, who can sing, who can rap, who can do this and that. Those are the type of people that you see that are showing an impression on the people within the community that are very angry but are really passionate about what they're saying. Like how Mimi Faust, I think that's how you say her last name, like in her little confession things, she's always doing this, she's always moving her hands, she's always doing this, but that's just because she's very passionate about what she's saying. Now, she made me a little angry when she's talking for real sometimes, but if she does this all the time and she's always pointing at it, she's always doing this, and how Jocelyn is always saying, I'm a this, I'm a that, and always using hand gestures, even though she's not Black, she's Puerto Rican, but that's not the point, because a lot of Puerto Ricans are, you know, have African ancestry in them. Like, they do move their hands a lot, and they do this, but at the end of the day, using somebody like on Love and Hip Hop, they have businesses and they have to be professional at their businesses, or else nobody's gonna want to talk to them. Yeah, they may be ratchet on TV, but in businesses, they are probably more proper in what they have to say. So it's not like people that are Black do not know how to speak properly, and the people who do know how to speak properly, who think that if you speak properly then you can get at a higher level. Yeah, you could get at a higher level in some cases, but at the end of the day, that does not make you any better than the person who talks like this. Like, they can sit here and talk like all of this and talk like, oh yeah, girl, get your hand over there, I'm gonna pull your, like, no, like, you're no better than them, because at the end of the day, you're still Black. Like, and that's the thing that really irks me with the older generation. They think that if you sag your pants and you do this and that, then you're not going to be good. You're not going to make it. Like, you're not going to be able to make it in the world that we live in, and you're no good, and you're this and that. And it's like, people like my papa, like, I love my papa to death, but everybody knows, if you know my papa, then you know that he can get into an argument about anything that you bring up. Like I said, I love my papa, and I'm glad that he is. But it's just like, bro, because he thinks that if you sag your pants, then ain't nobody gonna want to hire you. Well, all you got to do is pull up the pants as soon as you walk into the interview room. Like, pull them pants up as soon as you walk into the interview room, and then as soon as you walk out and get back into your car, go on about your day, you can pull them pants back down and sag. Like, as long as they don't see you doing that at the job, I don't understand why that would, you know, change their mind about hiring you, because they don't see you outside of the interview. They don't see you outside of the interview, right? So it's just like, if you sag your pants, I'm not saying that it's not bad to sag your pants, because I don't want to see your booty. I don't want to see them drawers. You don't want to see my drawers. I don't want to see your drawers. But it's like the older generation, yeah, they went through stuff. Of course, like, obviously, they went through some stuff. But it's not like people in our generation don't go through stuff either. You know what I'm saying? Because, like I said in my last video, or the video after this one, which I'm going to say, so I'm just going to quickly tell you. I think my driver teacher was, well, I don't think that. My friend thinks that my driver teacher was racist. And you'll see, I'll explain it in a whole other video if it's not up before this one. But it's like, whether or not people are gonna, like, whether or not people are gonna be racist, like, whether or not people are going to be racist, like, let's just keep it at that. People are going to be racist, intentionally or non-intentionally. They're gonna be racist. And to think that if you pull up your pants, you automatically own some more respect within the white community, it's not true, because Martin Luther King was sitting here in a freaking suit like almost every day. Or the mainstream pictures that you see of him on a normal basis, you see him in a suit. Like, you never see him dressed down casually. I have only seen him in one casual outfit. One. Every other time I've seen him in a suit from the pictures that I have seen. So you think that if you sag your pants, then you're not gonna be respected by people, or whatever you may think that it is, because obviously they didn't respect him when he was wearing them suits. They obviously didn't respect Malcolm X when he wore them suits, and they didn't respect the Black Panthers when they were doing what they was doing. So I mean, because that's the thing. When we sit up in class and we learn about the Black Panthers, my teacher, he said that he doesn't want to describe them as militant. And y'all know what militant means. But then when you go to the test and you have to identify them, you have to say that they're a militant group of people who created a group called the Black Panther Party in Oakland, California in the 60s. That's what you have to say, a militant group. And then you don't mention the fact that they did all that they did, like the free lunch the free breakfast, and all the other stuff that they have done for the Black community while protecting the Black community. Like, if the police aren't going to protect us, then what do you expect? Like, what do you expect for people to do? Sit around and not be protected in the country that they live in? Like, that makes no sense. You expect somebody to sit here and then when they don't get protected from in the country that they were brought to unwillingly, you expect them to sit here and be unprotected for the rest of their life? Like, no, you are protecting this person, then why can't you protect me, or the next person, or the next person? And when I say or the next person, or the next person, I mean the Mexicans, the Puerto Ricans, the Dominicans, the Asians, all of them. You're not gonna protect all of us, but you can protect this one group. Now, of course, I can't just sit here and say that everybody was bad, but I'm not gonna say, oh, not all police officers were bad, because the majority outruled the minority. Like, and when I say the majority outruled the minority, I mean the majority of the police officers outruled the minority of the police officers who are actually doing what they are doing. Like, they outrule it. When you see a lot of police officers doing this and that, and then, oh, but not all. Oh, but those tens, hundreds of them are out there doing what they're doing and not getting in trouble for it. Oh, they just paid Eric Garner's family $5.8 million. But that $5.8 million is not going to bring him back. That's not going to bring back what could have done happen in the past year of him if he were to be alive. That 5.8 million, yes, it's gonna help. Yes, it is something, and you can't just sit here and not recognize what they did. But it's a simple fact that 5.8 million ain't worth a person. Like, I'm sure I would rather, if something happened to my father, I would rather have him than the money. And I love money. Like, who doesn't love money? But at the end of the day, I would rather have my father than have all that money, because that money is not going to buy him back. Like, you know? So, as you can see, when I say this stuff, I sound very passionate in what I'm saying. And that can come off as me being angry because of the way that I say stuff, that people will sit here and want to shush me up because of the fact that I say stuff with so much passion in my voice, and I really sit here and try and think of everything that I can say in a timely manner that I can sit here and describe it to you as, and so you can see it in my perspective and in many other people's perspective. So you can't, people who expect for black people to sit here, or Hispanics or Asians to sit here and take the discrimination that they get and not do anything about it. Just like Robert Kennedy freaking said, like, and this is all from what I've learned in history class. So, I mean, clearly history class is doing something if I remember this. Cause he has, and no, I learned this on Tumblr actually. I didn't learn this in history class. He said, Bobby Kennedy said, what if one day we all go to heaven and God turns out to be a person of color, a black man or a Negro, whatever. And then we sit here on earth and we discriminate. He didn't say these words specifically, but I'm going to break it down in a summary of how I can say what he said. We sit down here on earth and we discriminate against this one group of people, this one specific group of people. Now, I'm not excluding the Hispanics and other minorities. I'm not trying to exclude them at all. I'm just saying, we sit here and we discriminate against this one group of people. And then what if one day we get up to heaven and the guy turns out to be a Negro? And then you look back at all the tragic stuff that your people have done, and then you realize that it was to somebody who is just like Jesus or God or whatever. And then you sit back and you're like, wow, that was really stupid, because we said, like, this whole thing in the 1960s was with the KKK was a bunch of Christian men. I don't understand how these are Christian men. Like, you are a Christian extremist or something if you're gonna sit here and bomb churches and kill people and let people go at night just so that the KKK can come and get them and kill them and put them in the Native American reservations. Hint, hint, Mississippi Burning. I would recommend that you watch it. You can't sit here and do all of this and then one day you just go to heaven and you just realize you messed up. Like, you just be like, oh dang, we done messed up. Like, obviously. Because with a lot of things that happen within the black community, within the world, with the cultural appropriation, with the letting the Kardashians and the Jenners do whatever they want to do. I'm not talking about Caitlyn. I'm talking about the other ones. I'm talking about her kids, and her ex-wife. Typically when I see somebody that is mixed and I realize that one of their parents is black, I'd be like, oh, okay, they black. Like, and it's not like I'm sitting here trying to erase the other half of them. It's me just saying, oh, they're black. Okay. Like, this one dude at my school, his daddy is black, his mama is white. Okay, he black. Like, I look at him as a black dude because he has black dude features. He acts as a black dude. And it's like, when you listen to somebody talk the way that they talk, and you know that that's how the people that you are around talk like that, and that they, like, I just call you black. Like my friend Raina, she's black and Mexican, but at the end of the day, she identifies as black and Mexican, but she mostly identifies as black. So then I just call her black. But then her little brother, I'm telling you, her little brother looks straight up Mexican. Like, he looked just like his daddy. So, yeah, of course, a little brother is still black and Mexican, but he looked like a little Mexican. Like, that's what he looks like. But he's still black and Mexican because his mama is black. But yeah, I think I'm done with this video now. I have talked enough, and y'all can see how my passionate voice isn't me being angry. And if you are out there, you're a black girl or dude, and people are telling you that you're angry because of the way that you talk, you're not. You just talk the way that you talk because that's how you want to express yourself. That's just how you express yourself. So don't let anybody sit here and be like, oh, you're this and that, you're ghetto, you're loud, da 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 da. So what if you're loud? So what if you're ghetto? Don't let them sit here and be like, oh, you're ghetto, you're loud, you're ratchet because of the fact that you're black. If you want to talk, you could talk however you want to talk. If you want to talk ghetto, then talk ghetto. If you want to talk proper, then it's perfectly fine for you to talk proper, because it does not matter how you talk. At the end of the day, you're still black, and you're still most likely going to be discriminated against because of the skin color that you have. If you're around a group of white people, whether you're light skinned or dark skinned, somebody in the group is probably going to discriminate against you whether you're light skinned or dark skinned. If you're in the black community, then somebody is probably going to discriminate you mostly if you're dark skinned because of the fact that you're dark skinned, and dark skinned women are not pretty. Lies, because look at me. Duh. And if you're light skinned, then you're looked at as better within the black community. And same thing for Hispanics. If you Mexican and you light skinned, then people want to sit here and be like, oh, she's prettier because she light skinned or she dark skinned. But then again, they want to call the light skins not as Mexicans, or the light skins not as black, or the light skins not as Asian, or whatever. So it makes no sense, because everybody's just discriminated against everybody, and everybody just needs to really shut up, because it's just like, okay, like what do you want? What do you want from this person? To get darker so that you could discriminate against them and say that they're ugly, or do you want them to get lighter so that you could tell them that they're not what they really are, while still thinking that they're prettier than the darker people within your community? Like, I feel like you need to get yourself together, sis. So yeah, that's all. I hope you guys enjoy, and make sure you subscribe and join the Gooseman family, and I'll talk to you guys next time. Bye.